for 45 pounds when you want your express visas, and you pay 45 pounds. The ministry gets 7 pounds. So it is not true. It was blatant and palpable falsehood that this ministry, we don't sign agreements or contracts with revenue sharing. That as for us, we are, it's incredible. We are just here to be raped. It's here, United Kingdom, if you pay 45 pounds, ministry's share, 7 pounds. In Europe, if you pay 55 euros, we get 7 euros. United States of America, if you pay $55, we get $7. China, $55, $7. Other countries, $55, $7. It's here, the access contract. So what is this claim that Ministry of Foreign Affairs, when we sign contracts, because we are top-level diplomats, diplomats, we don't pay bills, we don't pay for utilities. Will ECG spare us that because we are in foreign relations, we are diplomats, so, and because we are signing unconscionable contracts, so don't bring us our light bills, don't bring us water bills. We will not pay our staff. Diplomats are not paid. All of this goes into our IGF. And Parliament has approved that the IGF that we generate, Ministry of Finance takes 66%, and then we take the rest. So, please, we will make copies of this agreement available. And next time you interview her, probably you should be doing the schooling of her. Yeah. She shouldn't be the one telling us that we need schooling. There is another contract here, the BTS contract. And because these are public contracts, I know some of you may raise privity of contract and why am I talking about contracts of other? Yeah, you know me, I stand for transparency. And once you come to enter into a contract with a public organization, citizens can file an RTI request, and these contracts must be made available under Ghanaian law. So the private companies watching and worried that I have brought all their contracts here, and maybe you don't want your wife to know how much you are making. I'm sorry. If you want to keep things private, then do only private transactions. Once you partner with the public, it's a transparent affair. The BTS, the passport PPP arrangement, it's here, the revenue share. The ministry takes 40%, and then the private party 60%. It's here. BTS is a private party. So where from this claim that our demand for revenue share, that you can't come and rape us like this and get away, no limit, you can charge anything, and you can operate in perpetuity, that we are not raising legitimate concerns. Meanwhile, if you look at these other contracts that I've talked about, the investment that these private parties have made, access, if you see you go to London and you see the investments they have made, the facilities they have constructed, the former president went to open it, and other investments they are making all over the world. And even they are not demanding 100%. They know that but for us, but for people applying through our system, how will you get clients to even look in your direction? The same with BTS. They are buying the printing equipment and all of that. We virtually doing all the investments. But we have a 40% share. If we say that we are no longer issuing chip embedded passports, where is your contract? So we are totally disgusted that Haji Alima will say that this ministry does not go into contracts that have revenue sharing arrangements. Now let's be clear. This whole arrangement breaches multiple laws of our country. We have gone through the records. There is no evidence that Haji Halima obtained approval of the Public Procurement Authority. We challenge her to provide proof that she followed the procurement laws of our country. We don't sign contracts under Ghanaian law like you are sharing granules to some well-wishers who you have met at the park. No evidence that the public procurement laws of our country were respected. We have also stated that if you pay regard to our websites across all our 71 nations, you notice that the advertised fees and charges are fees and charges approved by Parliament. Because we have the fees and charges law, which clearly spells out. So after you've gone to negotiate your contract, you sign your agreement, you must make sure it is factored within the fees and charges arrangement. That is why access is factored. BTS, it is factored in the fees and charges of our country. Fred Kwarteng and Haji Halima are above Parliament. They are above the fees and charges laws of our country. That is totally unacceptable. And that is why management decided that based on these flagrant violations, we are abrogating this contract because we think that this contract is even void ab initio. That is why we've abrogated it. We are not respecting the terms of this contract. And we have written to the gentleman. I do hope that IOCO will expedite work on these investigations and will bring the Ghanaian people justice. Justice must be served in this matter. I must also add that the ministry is investigating the terms under which Mr. Fred Kwarteng was engaged as a locally recruited staff. We have discovered very strangely that whereas his application letter was sometime in March 2017, he is holding an employment letter dated 12 December 2016. Fred Kwarteng probably is the first person in the world whose application for employment comes after he has been employed and after he has an employment letter. Really mysterious. And we are also investigating how come due diligence was not carried out. This is a gentleman who had no business being engaged because did not have the relevant legal status to even be recruited. And so if Haji Halima Mahama is inviting us to reveal more about this and to put out more damning findings, we are left with no choice but to do that. We had reserved some of these details for the IOCO investigations. But since she wants this matter to play out fully in the glare of the public, we have no choice but to respond appropriately, because some of these details we are providing, we thought that IOCO can deal with them and put out their findings later. But she keeps inviting us with her very very dishonest, disingenuous media engagements. The final matter that I must respond to in this particular segment. Haji Halima has sought to question the figures that we have put out, saying that she doesn't know how the calculations were done. She should read the statement we submitted to Parliament. We pointed out clearly the traffic, the number of visa applications we receive every year. And we took out the share of FedEx and UPS in Fred Kwarteng's charges. So the profit is clear. It is even a conservative analysis we have done of $4.8 million. And we stand by that figure. It's a very conservative estimate because it's not difficult. All we had to do was to find out from FedEx, UPS, how much the charge is. We know what Fred Kwarteng was charging based on his own statements. And all you have to do is multiply that by the traffic. And we have the data, which we can share with you. Because we know the people in our system. We have to account to auditors. So it is not difficult at all. You can do the analysis yourself. It is not difficult at all. So I do hope that these engagements have brought clarity to these matters. And the disingenuous statements, the falsehoods being peddled out there, you can help to throw light and bring sunshine. People want to obfuscate matters and make this issue complex. It is not complex at all. It's a very simple matter. The laws that have been breached, the clear diversions. And you see, they disingenuously make statements like, he hasn't taken any money from Ghana. Ghana hasn't lost any money. It is people who came to make payments to Mr. Kwarteng. And then they ask, if they had made a payment to FedEx, to UPS, will we be concerned? First of all, how did he come by this contract? We have laws in this country. We have procurement laws. The naked conflict of interest. I mean, if we are going to be tolerating this, you work in an IT department, you work in this ministry, you see an opportunity, then you quickly go and register a company. Then you come to me, then I sign a contract with you. Imagine the passport director sees an opportunity to do the courier services we are doing now. Then he goes to register his own company, then comes to us. And then we are paying him to work at the passport office, and at the same time, we have a contract with him where he's profiting. The point is clear. If this was done properly and had gone through a legal department, it would not have been signed by Haji Halima Mahama. This contract would not have been this unconscionable. We would have protected those who apply for visas. There will have been a clear pricing figure, and there will have been termination clauses. We will have built in this contract accountability measures. So I think that the matters have been well clarified, and I'm willing to take your questions at this point. But before we do that, let me also very quickly say that the ongoing institutional fumigation, as I call it, the overhauls, are going quite well. I have seen a number of videos. For example, this Jamaican video that went viral. If you listen to her carefully, She said she applied 6 weeks ago. We had just done the reforms 3 weeks ago. And so you can see that the mess we're talking about really accumulated over many years. People were only interested in making money, business, signing unconscionable contracts, and not letting the embassy work, and building systems, responding to calls, and ensuring that there is customer satisfaction. The new reforms we are putting in place seek to address all of these bottlenecks. And I want to urge the international community to be patient with us. We are putting in place measures to make sure that all of these matters, which are really legacy issues, which we have inherited, we are going to address them once and for all. And indeed, we are addressing them. We are putting in place new systems that will allow for multiple calls to be received at the same time. We are also making sure that our officers are trained and are more responsive, more courteous on the phones. And we are really overhauling the system, putting in place stronger internal control so that these things are not allowed to recur. We take the view that the reforms that we are outlining will improve our image and will lead to an enhanced image of the Foreign Service, which is a really reputable organization, as you do know, a very distinguished service of our country. And we should not allow a few bad nuts to really tarnish the image of the Foreign Service of the Republic of Ghana. So,
Citizen TV, Accra, Ghana. Citizen TV, the citizen's power.